Hi, let's talk about comparing fractions and mixed numbers. So the vocabulary just has to do with a least common denominator. Did you know that the LCD is exactly the same thing as the LCM? Remember when we were doing the birthday cake method? The least common multiple is the exact same thing as the lowest common denominator. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. Take a look at example 1, comparing fractions. Now, if I ask you to compare 5 over 6 and 7 over 10, I want to show you a really fast way to do that. Just write the 5 over 6 and then make an open circle and then the 7 over 10. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the cross products to compare. So if I multiply across, so start at the denominator at the 6 and shoot an arrow toward the 7. So go up. So 6 times 7 gives us 42, and write that up above the 7. And then start at the 10 and shoot an arrow across. So 10 times 5 gives us 50. And then all you have to do is compare the 50 to the 42. Well, the 50 would be larger, so that means this fraction, 5 over 6, is larger. So I put the is greater than symbol. So 5 over 6 is greater than 7 over 10. Okay, let's do some guided practice. Copy and complete the statement with is less than, is greater than, or is equal to. Okay, take a look at 1 over 3 compared to 2 over 5. So again, write 1 over 3, put that open circle, and then write 2 over 5. And now start at the denominator, the 3, and shoot an arrow up towards the 2. So 3 times 2 would give me 6, and I write it up above. And then start at the denominator, the 5, and shoot an arrow toward the 1. So 5 times 1 gives me 5. Well, I just have to compare 5 with 6, and I know 5 is smaller than 6. So I know that the fraction 1/3 is less than 2/5, and I box my answer. Take a look at number 2. They want us to compare 3/4 to 11/16. So write 3/4, then put a circle and write 11/16. And now use the cross product. Start at the 4 and shoot the arrow across to the 11. 4 times 11 gives you 44, so put that up here. And then start at the 16 and shoot the arrow across to the 3. 16 times 3 gives you 48. Now just compare 48 to 44. Well, you know 48 is larger than 44. So I write 3 over 4 is greater than 11/16, and I box my answer. Okay, and here comes my dog to help us out. Okay, take a look at number 3. We want to compare 7 over 12 and 7 over 15. So write 7 over 12, leave a circle space, and then 7 over 15. Now start at the denominator. 12 times 7, I shoot the arrow across, gives me 84. And then start at the 15. 15 times 7 gives me 105. So all I have to do is compare 105 to 84. I know 105 is bigger, so I write 7/12 is greater than 7/15, and I box my answer. Take a look at number 4. 5 over 10 compared to 3 over 6. Well, I write 5 over 10, then I leave an open circle, and 3 over 6. Start at the denominator, the 10, and shoot the arrow across to the 3. 10 times 3 gives you 30. Put that up here. And then start at the denominator, the 6, and shoot the arrow across to the 5. 6 times 5 gives you 30. Well, I know 30 is exactly the same as 30. So I know 5 over 10 is exactly equal to 3 over 6. Okay, now we're going to copy and complete this statement again with is less than, is greater than, or is equal to. Take a look at number 5 and notice they want us to compare a mixed number, 2 and 3/4 compared to 14 over 5. Well, the first thing we have to do is write 2 and 3/4 as an improper fraction. So remember, start at the 4 and then multiply. So 4 times 2 gives you 8, and then add the 3. 8 plus 3 gives you 11. So put 11 over 4, and then leave that open circle, and then 14 over 5. Now start at the denominator. 4 times 14 gives you 56, and then start here at the other denominator. 5 times 11 gives you 55. All you have to do is compare 55 to 56. 55 is smaller, so I'm going to use the is less than. So 11 over 4 is less than 14 over 5, and I box my answer. take a look at number 6. 40 over 12 compared to 3 and 4/9. So we need to write 3 and 4/9 as an improper fraction. So start at the 9 and then multiply by 3. 9 times 3 is 27. And then add 4. 27 plus 4 gives us 31. So 31 over 9 compared to 40 over 12. Now I can see that 40 and 12 can be reduced. I know that 4 goes into both, so I'm going to reduce first. So 40 divided by 4 gives me 10, and 12 divided by 4 gives me 3. And now I compare 10 over 3 compared to 31 over 9. So start at the 3 and shoot that arrow across. 3 times 31 gives me 93, and 9 times 10 gives me 90. Well, I know 90 is smaller, so I'm going to write 10 over 3 is less than 31 over 9, and I box my answer. Okay, take a look at number 7. Now they're going to use negatives. Now listen carefully. When you're changing a negative mixed number to an improper fraction, I want you to ignore the negative for just one tiny second. Watch. Start at the 8. 8 times 1 would give me 8, and 8 plus 3 gives me 11. But now I bring the negative back, so I write negative 11 over 8. Let's try it again with this one. See how it's negative 1 and 1/2? Start at the 2 and multiply by 1. That 2 times 1 is 2. Now add 1 to give 3 and bring down the negative. So negative 3 over 2. So now I compare. Start at the denominator and shoot that arrow across. So 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. And then start at the denominator, the 2. 2 times negative 11 is negative 22. Well, I know that negative 22 is bigger than negative 24 because it's closer to 0. So I'm going to use the is greater than symbol. So I have negative 11 over 8 is greater than negative 3 over 2. And I box my answer. Okay, and now it says order these numbers, 17 over 4, 4 and 3/18, and 4 and 2/9 from least to greatest. Now this time I write 17 over 4 the way they gave it to me. I'm going to make 4 and 3/18 into an improper fraction. So start at 18. 18 times 4 gives me 72. 72 plus 3 gives me 75. So I have 75 over 18. And then I'm going to write 4 and 2/9 as an improper fraction. Start at the 9. 9 times 4 is 36. 36 plus 2 gives me 38 over 9. Now, I'm going to find the least common denominator, which remember is the same as the least common multiple. So when I'm looking at fractions and I see a 4 in the denominator, an 18, and a 9, always start with the biggest denominator and see if that will work. Well, 9 goes into 18, that's not a problem, but 4 doesn't go into 18 without remainders. But I'm going to use that biggest denominator right here, the 18, and I write the first 4 multiples of 18. So 18 times 1 is 18, 18 times 2 is 36, 18 times 3 is 54, and 18 times 4 is 72. And now I try them out. I know 9 will work, but I have to find something that'll work for the 4. So 4 won't go into 18, so I would cross that out. But now look at the next one. Does 4 go into 36? Yes, it does. It goes in 9 times. So I'm going to use 36 as my lowest common denominator. So now I would have to multiply 4 times 9 to get 36. So 17 times 9 gives me 153. Now to change 18 into 36, I would have to multiply by 2. So 18 times 2 gives me 36, and 75 times 2 gives me 150. And then to change 9 into 36, I multiply by 4. So 9 times 4 gives me 36. 38 times 4 gives me 152. And now it's very easy to put them in order. The first number, the smallest number, is 150 over 36. And remember, that was the middle one, so I write that first, 4 and 3/18. Then the next number would be 152 over 36. That's this one, 4 and 2/9, so I write that next. And that means the biggest number has to be 153 over 36, which was 17 over 4. So now they're in order from least to greatest, and I box my answer.